You think loyalty means something in professional wrestling? Think again. While Triple H sits in his office preaching about WWE family and building for the future, one of his top stars just got caught red-handed having secret meetings with AEW officials. And when I tell you who it is, you're going to lose your mind. This isn't some mid-carder looking for a payday. This isn't someone riding the bench. We're talking about a main event talent, someone Triple H personally pushed, someone who's been all over WWE programming acting like they bleed black and gold. The receipts are out there, the photos exist, and WWE is absolutely furious. But here's the kicker: this might be the biggest power move we've seen in years, and it could change everything. Before we get into the identity, let me ask you this: do you think WWE stars have the right to explore their options, or should they honor their contracts no matter what? Drop your answer in the comments because this debate is about to get heated. Now, let's talk about how this all went down. Multiple sources from within the industry have confirmed that a high-profile WWE superstar was spotted in a private meeting with AEW executives at an undisclosed location outside of Orlando. We're not talking about a casual run-in at a restaurant. This was a planned, coordinated meeting that lasted several hours. The kind of meeting where lawyers are present. The kind of meeting where contract terms get discussed. The kind of meeting that only happens when someone is seriously considering jumping ship. The wrestling world operates on whispers and rumors, but this is different. This is sourced, this is verified, and this is sending shockwaves through Stamford, Connecticut right now. WWE's legal team has already been alerted, and according to people close to the situation, Triple H feels personally betrayed. Why? Because he handpicked this person. He gave them opportunities that other wrestlers would kill for. He put them in main event programs, gave them championship reigns, and treated them like a cornerstone of the new era. And this is how they repay him? Here's where it gets even more intense. The meeting wasn't just with any AEW officials. Tony Khan himself was allegedly present. That's right, the AEW president personally flew out to meet with this WWE star. Tony doesn't do that for just anybody. He didn't even do that for some of the bigger names who eventually signed with AEW. This tells you everything you need to know about how badly All Elite Wrestling wants this person and how massive this signing could potentially be. Now, the identity, the name that's been circulating in wrestling circles, the name that insiders are whispering about, the name that has WWE in absolute panic mode is, and I need you to understand how explosive this is, we're talking about someone currently in a major storyline, someone who just appeared on WWE programming within the last 2 weeks, someone who has access to creative plans, backstage politics, and inside information about WWE's future direction. The leading candidate? Multiple independent sources are pointing toward a talent whose contract situation has been mysteriously quiet. WWE usually announces contract renewals with their top stars. They did it with Roman Reigns, they did it with Cody Rhodes, they made sure everyone knew Seth Rollins re-signed. But this particular star? Radio silence. No announcement, no extension, no public commitment. That silence is deafening. What makes this situation even more complicated is the timing. We're heading into WrestleMania season. This is when WWE needs all hands on deck, when storylines are supposed to be locked in, when the biggest show of the year gets built. Can you imagine the chaos if a main event talent walks out right before Mania? Can you imagine the scrambling, the rewriting, the absolute nightmare scenario for creative? Here's a question for the comment section: if you were this WWE star, would you stay loyal to Triple H and WWE, or would you take a potentially bigger offer from AEW? Be honest. Let's talk about the implications. If this move happens, it's not just about one person changing companies, it's about what it represents. For years, WWE has been the undisputed king of professional wrestling. Sure, AEW has made waves, they've signed big names, they've created competition, but taking a current, active, main event level talent directly from WWE's roster while they are still in major storylines, that's a declaration of war. That's Tony Khan saying, we're not just competition anymore, we're coming for everything you have. And from the WWE star's perspective, you can actually understand the appeal. AEW offers creative freedom that WWE simply doesn't provide. In WWE, you're working within Triple H's vision, Vince McMahon's legacy system, and corporate structure that prioritize shareholders and television partners. In AEW, talents have historically had more input into their characters, their storylines, their movesets. For someone who might feel creatively stifled in WWE, that's incredibly appealing. The money situation is interesting too. While WWE typically pays more for their absolute top stars, AEW has shown they are willing to open the checkbook for the right talent. They paid huge money for Centimeter Punk, for Bryan Danielson, for Mercedes Munn. If they want this WWE star badly enough, they'll make an offer that's impossible to refuse. We're potentially talking about a multi-year deal worth 8 figures, with creative control clauses and merchandising percentages that WWE would never agree to. But here's what should terrify WWE the most: it's not just about this one star, it's about the precedent. If this person successfully makes the jump and thrives in AEW, how many other WWE talent start having similar conversations? How many other wrestlers start questioning whether they should explore their options? The floodgates could open, and WWE could face a talent exodus unlike anything they've experienced since the Monday Night Wars. Triple H's reaction to all this has been described as volcanic. People who've been in meetings with him over the past week say he's taking this incredibly personally. And why wouldn't he? He's built his entire regime on the idea of creating a better locker room culture, respecting the wrestlers, giving them better creative, treating them like the stars they are. For someone to reject all of that and actively pursue AEW, it's not just a business decision to Triple H, it's a personal insult. WWE's legal team is already reviewing the talent's contract with a microscope, looking for any possible violations, any tampering issues, anything they can use to either block the move or at minimum make it as difficult as possible. They are prepared to enforce non-compete clauses to the maximum extent possible, potentially keeping this person off television for months even after they leave WWE. Quick question for you: do you think non-compete clauses in wrestling contracts are fair, or should wrestlers be able to work immediately after leaving a company? Hit the comments. The backstage reaction in WWE has been mixed. Some wrestlers are reportedly angry, viewing this as a betrayal of the locker room and everything Triple H is trying to build. Others are quietly supportive, recognizing that everyone has the right to make the best business decision for themselves and their families. A few are even considering their own options, watching this situation closely to see how it plays out. Meanwhile, in AEW, the mood is reportedly celebratory. Landing a current WWE main eventer would be the biggest acquisition in the company's history. It would legitimize AEW in ways that previous signings haven't. It would prove they can not only compete with WWE but actively poach their top talent while they are still under contract negotiations. The wrestling media is going absolutely crazy trying to confirm the exact identity. Respected journalists are working their sources, everyone's trying to be first with the confirmation, but both WWE and AEW are keeping this lockdown tighter than anything in recent memory. The NDA situation around these meetings must be intense because usually, in wrestling, everything leaks eventually. This has been surprisingly airtight until recently. What happens next? That's the million-dollar question. WWE could make a last-minute offer that changes everything. They could give this star everything they want: more money, creative control, main event positioning at WrestleMania. Or they could play hardball, let them walk, and use it as an example that nobody is bigger than WWE. AEW, on their end, is reportedly preparing a major announcement for an upcoming Dynamite or pay-per-view. They know the value of making a splash, of creating a moment that gets social media buzzing and makes headlines everywhere. If they can orchestrate this signing and debut it properly, it could be the biggest moment in AEW's 5-year history. For you, the fans, this is must-watch television. This is the kind of real-life drama that makes professional wrestling so compelling. Forget the scripted storylines for a minute. This is real competition, real business, real consequences. So here's what I need from you. Smash that like button if you want to see more breaking news like this. Subscribe to Wrestling Zone 1 because we're going to be all over this story as it develops. And most importantly, get in the comments right now and tell me, who do you think this WWE star is? What would be your reaction if they actually showed up on AEW Dynamite? And do you think Triple H can survive losing a main event talent right before WrestleMania season? This story is far from over. The next few weeks are going to be absolutely insane, and you're going to want to be here for every single update. Wrestling Zone 1 has got you covered. Now get in those comments and let's discuss this absolute chaos.